just a cigarette, and it cannot be that bad.
Honey, don't you love me, and you know it makes me sad.
It's just a cigarette, like you always used to do.
The cigarette industry is not dying.
Need them to be cool.
It continues to reap unimaginable profit. It's still winning lawsuits.
It's just a cigarette,
And cigarettes still kill millions every year.
So there's not much of a chance.
it's just a cigarette.
To sell you something that you don't need, don't want, can become addicted to, shorten your life, and can kill you. It's a strange thing.
We know from well-established evidence that smoking is the leading preventable cause of death worldwide. So that means that stopping smoking is the one thing that people can easily do to modify their own mortality. One thing that they can do to prevent premature death would be to stop smoking. There's many negative health effects associated with smoking. The main diseases that we know to be directly associated to tobacco smoking are cancer, lung cancer particularly, but also cancers of the mouth and of the throat, and also emphysema and bronchitis. Up to 80% of the deaths from emphysema and bronchitis are caused by tobacco smoking.
Yeah, you bought a rescue cat for yeah.
What, you having the same juice in both hands?
No.
Recent methods have produced a huge change in attitude to smoking. Far fewer people smoke. Now that tobacco advertising is banned, it's illegal to display tobacco products in shops, and smoking is banned in public places. Yet some people do still smoke, and some young people are still taking up smoking.
So, why do people smoke?
It's about 20 years I've been smoking now. I started drinking, my older brother started smoking, I thought it was cool, so I started smoking with him. It's literally been about 20 years that I've smoked, and I'm 29, so it's more than half my life I've actually been smoking. I have considered giving up smoking, but it's not been very successful yet. I've tried a couple of times, it's not been very successful. If I can find some other that actually help, but what they do is they normally just talk to you and things like that. And giving up, because I work, giving up medication is so much. Obviously, nicotine patches and everything cost so much to actually give up smoking. It's cheaper to actually go out and smoke again. You can tell I got a sore throat today. Literally very much recently, last year or so, I noticed that my lungs are getting a lot worse than they were when I was younger. So it's actually not very good for me. Plus I've got asthma as well, which obviously the smoking does not help the asthma.
I've been smoking about 5 years now. It's a really funny story actually. I was about to jump off a bridge, and this guy said, like, what have you done in your life? Like, like all the bad stuff. Haven't you even smoked? Got completely blind drunk and stuff. And he was really relaxed about the whole thing. And in the end, he sort of persuaded me to come back onto the bridge and have a cigarette with him. And I've smoked ever since then, actually. So yeah, a bit of an unusual story, but yeah. I know it's bad for your health, and I know it's expensive, but I quite enjoy smoking. I've thought about quitting, but to be honest, I enjoy it, and I don't think although it's bad for your health, obviously, like cause lung cancer and stuff. I think the stress of worrying too much about it would cause be more harm anyway, certainly in the short term. So yeah, I thought about it, but decided to carry on. I don't feel it affecting me at the moment at all.
I'm smoking about 15 years now. Because of friends, one of my friends started smoking. I don't know, I just started smoking as well.
For Chancellor Vaughan Thomas, who's responsible for health and well-being in Norwich, believed that smoking is a class issue.
Over Norfolk, there's about 16% of people smoke. But for people who are in routine or manual work, that's about 25%. But in Norwich itself, an urban setting, it's something like 23% on average smoke across the city. But for routine work or manual workers, it's like 38%. Obviously, it's a class issue, really.
Incredibly difficult addiction to give up. Nicotine within tobacco cigarettes is a highly addictive substance. And we know from really good data that people who try to give up smoking often have a number of failed attempts before they successfully manage to stop smoking. And we think this is because not only nicotine in itself is an addictive substance, but smoking is a socially and sometimes culturally acceptable or desirable behaviour that's incredibly difficult for people to let go of.
In order to try and maximize profits, tobacco companies produce a new product, electronic or e-cigarette, that the industry hopes will rebrand its image. Does e-cigarette taste the same with traditional cigarettes? Why it's so popular? Is it helpful for people who want to quit smoking?
Very, very similar, but also quite different. When you smoke a cigarette, the smoke is quite dense and you feel quite a lot here, which obviously results in you coughing. With vapor, it's much, much more lighter. So they're very, very similar, but there is a slight difference.
Why it's so popular?
Because it's a healthier alternative. Government Health of England have now backed it as 95% healthier than smoking, and that's over a 10-year study. So it's also in the media, it's on the television. A lot of people now know that this is healthier than smoking cigarettes, which is obviously really bad for our health. So yeah, that's why people are moving over to it, because it's a healthier alternative and it's cheaper.
Oh yeah.
So, what can you do if you want to give up smoking? Doctor in NHS Smoke Free told us,
come and talk to us. Go and talk to somebody. If you want to quit smoking, don't do it what we call cold turkey. Don't do it without anything, because as soon as you stop smoking, the brain craves nicotine, and that can create a neurological reaction which can make you feel stressed, which then may lead you to continue smoking. So use a medication, replace that nicotine from the cigarette by replacing it with, say, patches or gum or something else, and go and get support, go and get education, go and get information on the products that you're using.
what did the City Council do to help people?
The City Council's latest initiative is to discourage people from smoking in play areas, basically keeping them away from children. So it's about a cultural change which takes time. It takes a long time to do, but it's about making it not as social, even antisocial, to be able to smoke near children, and it's for people's health as well, of course. Well, basically, you can't, you're not allowed to smoke inside a car with carrying children, and obviously now it's 18 before you can buy cigarettes. It used to be 16, and of course years ago, certainly before the Second World War, most people smoked. It's been discouraged. It becomes now, it's the norm where you don't want people smoking, whereas before it used to be rare. You used to have reserved areas for people who didn't smoke. Now we're having reserved areas for people who do smoke. So we are moving in the right direction. So overall, I mean, the City Hall, you're not allowed to smoke in here, and other public areas, and in the Market Square. Good.
This is a Healthy Norwich initiative to help parents protect their children from the harm caused by secondhand smoke and to denormalize smoking.
I've got no qualms with people want to smoke, but definitely not around children, because you don't want children to grow up with the image of people smoking as being a normal part of life.
People are very much aware of it now, with a lot of TV coverage about diseases which come from smoking. I mean, not only cancer, but heart problems and things like this, and making people aware of the dangers of smoking, both passive and direct. I think the message is getting across now, and it has significantly reduced in recent years. I mean, clearly legislation about banning smoking in public houses and people in theatres and things like that is the way forward on this, and the population at large, I think, now accept that this is the way forward.
Tobacco companies are expanding their markets in places such as India and China, where regulation is less severe. They claim they are creating wealth and employment through a legitimate business. But are their promotional methods justified? And more generally, is smoking a personal choice or a public health issue that has to be regulated? It's still a problem.